Alright hunters, welcome back to another Dev Diary style video where I'm going to kind of loosely narrate what is going on. This week's spotlight is going to be with our high-flying Candy. And what she does is she is exactly what I just said. She's a high-flying combo expert who actually does more damage to enemies once she gets them in the air. And she has multiple ways to keep them in the air, which include her cartwheel, which you've already seen a couple of times. You've heard me talk about Golem's signature move, where he throws enemies, and he has like 8 different types of throws. Well, Candy, she has a couple of different things going on, but her main one is her signature move, and it's the cartwheel. And the cartwheel, as you can see, relaunches enemies. It can do it up to twice. You can only relaunch twice, period. We have some infinite protections in the game, basically. But what it does is it not only allows her to relaunch enemies in the air real easily, it also gives her invulnerability frames, or iframes, or invincibility frames, similar to, like, say, a Dark Souls dodge roll. So she can get out of dodge way easier than the other two characters because she's a smaller target and she has that ability to have those iframes. However, she has a lot lower HP. I believe she has 160 compared to Golem's, let's say 200, and Looney, I believe, has 190. So anyway, she is a little bit more of a glass cannon, and she also has multiple other differences from Golem. Like, as you saw before, Golem has a ton of like different throws, air throws, and he has like a simple wall punch that does a wall splat against the wall. And as you can see, Candy here, when she knocks people against the wall, it bounces them off the wall. So she doesn't do a wall splat, she does a wall bounce. And that keeps the enemy in play long enough for her to basically do follow-up combos. So she is definitely the type of character. If you do not like to jump in the air after an enemy you've knocked in the air in beat-em-ups, you might not want to play Candy. Also, Candy's role not only gives her iframes, not only relaunches enemies, it also lets her do a ground and pound, which hopefully I'll show off here shortly, where you roll on enemies and you do a little sort of like double like knife thing to them. There you go, right there. And that guy right there does a lot of damage. It also guarantees that it'll give him a damage over time. Another thing you might have noticed is you'll notice enemies bleeding. Her attacks, anything that basically has anything to do with the knife, has a percentage chance of adding a bleed effect. However, her ground and pound attack is 100%, and so is her special move, where she spins around and stuns enemy in place for a long time. Actually, you just saw it right there. Those enemies weren't on the ground, so they didn't get stunned in place, but that's essentially what it does. So it does something a little different than Golem's. It's supposed to stun them in place and kind of be a crowd control thing. But it also does tons of damage to already airborne enemies. Yeah, I'm kind of showing that off here. It's a good way to kill enemies real fast. It's a lot of risk for a lot of reward, though. You got that gray health. But yeah, as you can see, she's got multiple combos that allow her to keep enemies in front of her. Oh, another thing, that cartwheel attack, she can do an instant uppercut. So she can if you don't want to attack somebody on the ground, you can instantly launch them. Now, we do have heavy characters and bosses where you can't do that, unless they're in a winded or willing state. But in this particular case, she can do it to most enemies. And there actually was a good example of her aerial strong attack, because as I mentioned before, there's light and strong attacks. So you can do light into strong, and it'll slam enemies down. And on that third hit on that strong, if it hits other enemies that are in front of you, it'll knock them down too. So it's great for crowd control. She's very much what I call a flowing character when it comes to her combat. You're gonna press a lot of buttons with her. She flows from state to state, or from enemy to enemy, just keeps doing damage. Also jumping out of her, and there was another thing you just saw she had a dive kick. I'll get to that in a second. She jumps further out of her cartwheel as well, and she has that dive kick right there. So it's really good. And you can switch sides too. So if you're pointed to the right, but you see an enemy that's behind you and they might basically get out and attack, you can stop what you're doing in the air and then dive kick directly backwards. You can also do combo extensions with the dive kick. So you can dive kick into a like a cartwheel and get enemies still up in the air. And so she's really versatile when it comes to like combo expression, being evasive. She feels super powerful, but if you do happen to get hit and don't quite know what you're doing, she can get you killed. So you have to watch out for that. And then she has one of my favorite moves in the entire game where you do one of the combos. I think I mentioned the game has universal combos where like A always knocks an enemy straight up, B always knocks them forward, and that's universal for all characters. Their air combos are a little bit different, but the ground combos all do the same. Well, her B combo, which is the combo that gets longer, so it's a big risk. But there you go. There it was. It takes longer to do, but it'll hit enemies on both sides. So it's great for crowd control. It's great for like being able to go and finish off like one side while the other side's still trying to get up. So it's wonderful for that. But that split kick she does, the Van Damme split kick, that is easily one of my favorite animations in the whole game. It looks just so darn cool. And she can do that when you hold down the light button. You can do a charge attack. Which you'll see me do from time to time with combos, especially when I do like A and knock them up in the air. I'll hold down that charge attack, and that'll just hit everybody on both sides. And so that's pretty nice. She does have some fun combos you can do with the rocket launcher. I don't remember if I do any of those here. I guess I did not. But there is some fun stuff you can do there. Caveman enemies who can be very annoying because they poke from a long distance away, so you got to be very careful. And then these savage guys that come out, they have low HP, but they can actually hurt you pretty bad with their jump attacks. Yeah. Oh, she also has a wall jump. You saw me do a wall jump right there. That was a late addition. That's very good at getting away from certain situations, and there's even some really cool extended combo setups that you can do with that guy. So it's quite a bit of fun. And yeah, I like actually trying to make the enemies get hurt off of these spikes because they are programmed to try to avoid them, but 12 megahertz processor, you're gonna have some dum-dums that are gonna run into spikes. Also, these guys are mutants, so they're not gonna be that smart. Their brains have kind of literally rotted away, so they're gonna probably run into stuff. Oh, there was the split kick. That was the charged version of it. But yeah, Candy, she can be a whole lot of fun with a partner in co-op too, because she's very good at keeping enemies in the air. So if somebody gets knocked over to your side and you don't have quite enough time to be able to do anything with it, Candy fixes that. She will absolutely destroy enemies if they get knocked anywhere near her, because that cartwheel just puts them right back up in the air and she can go right back into combos. It also helps keep her pretty safe, since she can be hurt pretty bad due to the low health pool. So being able to stay in the air is really nice for her. Oh yeah, and that was the AB combo into a cartwheel cancel. And also your strong attack will also relaunch enemies for all three characters. So Candy, Golem, and Looney, who you haven't seen yet. Looney's is actually a little bit different, so I like how his works. Let's see how quickly I run through the boss on her. I'm usually pretty good at murdering this guy with her, because that guy right there can do a lot of damage. Oh, another thing is we have that armor system, and that the armor that you just saw there that's yellow, that can always be destroyed by a strong attack or a dash attack. So that's something people will have to learn, especially for the harder modes. Yeah, I'm absolutely murdering this guy. So this video is almost over. But yeah, this has just been a spotlight for Candy to see how she's played at a fairly high level, and how she plays entirely different. Despite having universal combos with the rest of the characters, you can see she plays entirely different than Golem. So Anyway, again, that was Candy. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys are excited for Vengeance Hunters. And please, as always, if you have any questions, concerns, any comments whatsoever, throw them in the video, throw them at me at Discord, throw them at me at Twitter. The Lewis Studio. It's, I believe most of you probably know where that's at now. So anyway, take care. Here's the start of stage 2, and see you later. Bye.